Now, recently I did say that I probably would order from Harley Benton again, and that's what I have done here. So this is my review for the new ST-Modern HH in this seafoam green. But I'm doing it as also a comparison with the original Plus version. So I have both here in the studio today. I'm gonna go through the specs, talking about differences, some similarities, and you're gonna get to hear both, but we are focusing on this one today. Now let's get right into it. Harley Benton emphasizes that the Plus version has a lot of premium features that this version does not have. Right off the bat, the Plus version is a couple hundred more than the standard version. I'd say they're both reasonably priced. Either way, just based on this video, you can probably choose which one's best for you. They both have roasted necks. However, the Plus version has the curly flamed maple, so there's a little more figuring in the neck, but they are both roasted and they're both forms of maple. They both do have locking tuners. Now I noticed in the specs, it actually looks like they have the same version or the same type of locking tuners. I don't actually agree with that because the Plus version comes with staggered locking tuners with different posts, whereas the standard version comes with the more standard or traditional posts. They're both very functional. They're both pretty stiff to turn. They both are vintage spec. So if you do want to replace these with different tuners, the holes are actually a little bit smaller through the headstock on both of these. So you'll need either to bore out those holes or vintage spec tuners with the smaller 8mm holes. Just keep that in mind. Now, before we get too deep into this, I do have a favor to ask. You already know what it's going to be. If you find any value in this video, please consider subscribing right now to my channel. And a like definitely goes a long way. It helps other people find the videos, see the videos, and hopefully enjoy the videos. So thank you. Now some further specs. They both have a graphite nut. The string trees are different between the two. This has more traditional string trees, 2 of them, and this has 2 rolling string trees. So the Plus version does come with what's considered a better string tree. That's absolutely true as well for the frets. We have stainless steel frets with rounded ball ends, and we have nickel frets. I do notice this one came with some tooling marks, very, very subtle tooling marks, where you can see someone actually went in by hand, probably pretty quickly, maybe not super carefully, and rounded off some of these frets, or at least knocked down any sharp edges. So they're not sharp, but they're also not ball end. But someone did take some time to at least pay some attention to these frets. Between these 2 guitars that I received, this version has darker roasted maple. This one looks a little lighter, but it does have probably a slight flame. I wouldn't say the flame is super noticeable on this guitar. Unless you're in certain light, you might pick up on it. I do really like those staggered tuners though. These tuners are fine. I don't have any issue with these. And it does have string trees, so technically you don't need the staggered tuners, but it is a nice perk to have on the Plus version. Harley Benton likes to emphasize that the side dot markers on the Plus version, they glow in the dark. So I think that's a really cool feature. I'm not sure how useful it's going to be for me, but it is cool to have. And I think it's nice that it's just a little different from your average guitar. Of course, the finishes, the options when you purchase these vary quite a bit. This is the sparkle finish, which sold out almost immediately. This is the very common seafoam green. I did notice that right after I purchased this, one of the first few days it was available, the price went from, I paid $126, believe it or not, for this guitar. The price went back up actually a little bit higher than the other colorways, the blue or the black for this model. I wonder if it was a mistake listing this one for 126 bucks because the other versions are between 150 and 165, I think. I think I just got lucky. I got it when the price was low. I'm sure some of you did as well, but I was pretty happy about that. Now I will point out the wood in the body in each of these is different. We have American alder and we have poplar. Now this one's a little bit heavier at 8 pounds, 2 ounces. This came in at 7 pounds and 9 ounces. I don't mind the weight on either one. They're both right around 8 pounds. Very comfortable. I'd say pretty good for a Strat. The fretboards are the same on both, or at least they're made of the same wood. We also have the spokes wheel adjustment for the truss rod on both, which I really like. A really good premium feature. It's super easy to make quick adjustments as needed. And we do have the same double humbucker Invader style layout here. We have a 3-position switch, tone and volume. Same thing on this Plus model. Now the pickups are different. We have the HBZ custom wound here, while we have the Tesla pickups over here. So the Tesla pickups are considered more premium, but you'll get to hear those later. Most people would pick the more expensive one, I'm sure. I really do think they both sound really good. And I think Harley Benton did a great job with both of those. One of the most pronounced differences, while the Plus version has the Babbage bridge, which a lot of people really hate this bridge, they complain that it's tough to palm mute and that it's not very comfortable to play with because of the way the strings may come out lower, not across the top like you traditionally find. We have here a really good choice, I think, really comfortable, really standard. The Harley Benton branded, kind of more traditional hardtail bridge, and it has the solid block saddles. I think it's cool to have one of each. Maybe in the future I'll change my mind, but right now I'm pretty happy with that. If you want to know about the out-of-the-box experience on the Plus version, check out different videos that I have on my channel. Instead of telling that story all over again, those videos do a really good job of capturing the unboxing and first impressions, and then they get into kind of what happened afterwards. I am very grateful for Torsten with T's Guitars for his support with this guitar, and a local guy who has a hobby shop called the Guitar ER. He put some work into this guitar and it feels much better, sounds much better too. We are going to take a look at this one again later. For now, I'm going to put it away. All right, just focusing here on the HH. I think I actually missed any hype that there may have been about this model. When I did see any advertising for this model, I actually thought it was all for the Plus. I didn't realize that they were releasing the non-Plus version. After a couple days, I saw that it was available and I went right in, placed the order. I'll be honest, I was pretty impressed with the speed of the shipment. I was a little nervous with all the tariff stuff that's happening in the US. I didn't know if I was going to be hit with extra fees and charges. I am talking about that in a different video, so stay tuned for that in the future. I actually chose to have this one delivered through DHL instead of UPS, and I got it, I'd say, just as quickly as I would have with UPS, maybe quicker by a day or so. Now, it's no secret that I ran into some complications with the Sparkle Silver Plus version. I didn't have any of those issues with this one. Right out of the box, I'm very happy with the fretwork. It has a little hint of a buzz, but nothing abnormal, nothing that I can't resolve. Now, something that I'm not a big fan of, you know this if you've been on this channel a bit, there are very subtle neck pocket cracks. That's what happened on my non-Plus version of the ST-Modern HSS. Same thing. Right after I got them, I noticed there were small cracks forming. I do hope they don't spread, but time will tell. It seems like these guitars might be prone to this a little more than, you know, your typical Strat-shaped guitar. I think 3 out of 4 of the ST-Moderns that I've had, the only one that doesn't, knock on wood, is the Sparkle Silver. These tuners, they work really well, and I'm not having any tuning stability issues. They're very tough to turn, and that's been the case across all 4 of the ST-Moderns. They work really well, they do function, they're just hard to turn. So I can live with it. It has been 1 full day, maybe 2 days, 3 days, I don't know. It's been a day, that's for sure. I will acknowledge that the low E is sticking a little bit on this one. I haven't made any adjustments whatsoever to this guitar, but I did actually get a pro setup on the Plus. This definitely has good resonance. It really sounds good unplugged. I think a lot of people agree that if a guitar sounds good unplugged, it usually sounds pretty good when it's plugged in. Any thoughts you have, put them down in the comments because I really like to get conversations started in these videos. That's half the fun of making YouTube videos, is all the comments and conversations that happen afterward. Let's get old. I'm just gonna go through the pickup settings and then I'm gonna do the same dirty and show both guitars. That was the bridge, this is the middle. I have the tone probably 2/3, maybe a little more than halfway up. All the way off for the tone, bringing it back in. Get a little shimmer back. A little bit of the middle. Go to the neck. Neck. The pickups definitely feel very full, very rich, so I think they have really nice tones, even clean. They're not designed for clean, but I think they do sound good that way. So just a note about these pickups. In the specs, it says ferrite, I think. That is a fancy word for ceramic. Now, I don't see that as a negative because typically high output pickups like this, including the Invader, are ceramic pickups. So I wouldn't expect these to be anything else. All right, we're gonna go into the dirty setting so I can compare the two guitars. So I've got the gain halfway up. So now that the bridge has been adjusted from the previous video, I do think it is a little bit harder to palm mute because I just got it back, so I'm not at all used to this. I do think the bridge is gonna take some getting used to, these saddles with this Babbage bridge. I think that one's more comfortable. I think I kind of like the traditional and maybe less expensive version myself. I wore cologne, not I walk alone. So expectations versus reality for this guitar. I really didn't know what to expect because of previous experiences as well as the whole tariff situation. I didn't have to pay any taxes or tariffs, so definitely that's a win. I think it's just as good in terms of design, finish, feel, playability as my ST-Modern HSS. I'll put the link up here so you can check that out. I don't have any major complaints. The roasted maple neck, the custom pickups, the really cool layout, which I like, the fact that the frets are playable, the setup was pretty good out of the box. With a lot of other brands, when you get a basic model with a hardtail, you don't get the string through either. So having the string through body with a really nice bridge, definitely awesome. Of course, the focus here is this guitar. It did come with action at 1.75 out of the box. I think the setup was pretty good out of the box. The tuners, as mentioned, are a little bit stiff. I'm not actually super impressed with this graphite nut. I wish that at least on the Plus model, they had gone up to a Tusk or some kind of brand name. I don't know, I'm gonna take a look at that. I think this really performs incredibly well, and it's way better than I expect. I really like it. I think it sounds really good. I love the pickups in both models, and I like that they're different. I wouldn't hesitate to order either one. Now, thank you for taking the time to check out this review and the comparison with these two models. Now, I do have several other reviews on this channel featuring some different Harley Benton guitars. If you want to see more content like this, I've got lots of cool stuff on the way. I mean, look at me. Of course I'm gonna review this guitar. Of course I'm gonna take a look at that guitar. And I've got another one from a different company that you're going to see, and it's not a Fender. So keep an eye on the channel for that.